kicked out. Wow, everybody, thank you for joining us again. Dr. Joy Nicole is on her way. Dr. Pauline is here. Patty from New York. Dr. Pauline, how are you today?
I'm very good, Marty, and very excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much. And Patty, what is going on after Clubhouse in New York?
How are you? We're doing good. We're doing good. It's a discovery day today. And yeah, over at Clubhouse, we were sharing parenting and ways that we could teach our children. And this discussion here is a perfect start. Ways to, spread love. I think it's a great start.
Amazing. And before Dr. Joy Nicole comes in for today, Dr. Pauline, did you want to tell us about your upcoming events real quick?
Yeah, on
You've got two of them.
Thursday morning, we're going to start creating. So we're going to invite all those willing to be positive and hopeful and imaginative and curious about the future that we can bring together as men and women of different cultures all over the world. So I'm excited to invite everybody. This is a new start for the work we did last year, researching how men and women see the world differently. So it's a magical conversation, wisdom circle, and the title is Creating Our Future Together.
It sounds awesome.
9 a.m. Pacific time, that's 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and 5 p.m. in UK.
Okay, and that'll be this Thursday.
The 16th. Yep.
Okay. And then after that, don't you have a second event also coming up, I noticed on Hub?
Well, we've got, in terms of embracing the world, I've set up another session, which is the same, but it's for the Southern Hemisphere. So the thing is that I invited everybody for the Northern Hemisphere time, but this meant my Australian, Malaysian, and Philippine friends would have to be getting up at 1 or 2 in the morning. So I thought, why don't we embrace time zones? So we have a time zone wisdom circle. So it means that those of us in America can join as well, because that will be at 5 p.m., 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the goal is that it's really exploring what different cultures think about the same subject. So if we have our future created together, we have to honor that Australians, Philippine, Malaysian, Indian, Europe, South Africa, UK, US, Canada, we all have slightly different views of the world. So we want to share those. So that's why there's a second one. And that's very exciting, because I think stretching our arms around the world is the way we're going to find world harmony.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Dr. Joy Nicole, we were having a slight problem with your microphone. Do we want to check it again?
Oh, yes, let's check it. Is it any better this time?
It is better, but there is still a fuzz on your line. It says like a slight fuzz today. So we might just have to say, hey, we're going to be fuzzy and call it at that.
That's weird. I wonder if it's just there's a fan on. Let's see if I turn the fan off if that helps. Let's see.
Okay, check it now. I almost heard a little bit of fuzz when I was talking.
That's odd.
Yeah, I did. I did. I feel like the Wascally Wabbit. I did. Or whoever that guy Elmer Fudd was. We have some good mornings coming in from Nathan. Wishing everybody well. Marty, Patricia, and Pauline. Oh, good. He said he doesn't hear the fuzz on his end. Thank you, Nathan. All right. Well, wonderful. We appreciate the help from our buddies out there. We have a great guest today that Patty brought us, Simon Okelo, and he is just fantastic with his music. And we were trying to explain to him everything about Othello and what's going on with it. And one thing we did was since he's from Kenya, we flipped him and gave him 2 of our ambassadors from Kenya to link up with, because he's flying back home to Africa this month. So just in a couple of days. But we told him about Nixon Akessa from Kenya, and also Mary Ndiritu, the attorney from Kenya. And then we introduced them to him. So we're making the connection there. Yeah.
And Marty, also, I just want to note that he did mention this is his first trip out of 2 he's planning this year. And the second trip, he is planning to put a group together. If somebody's interested to be doing any type of networking business, definitely contact Simon as well. So yeah, he's doing great stuff.
That's awesome. Any plus up thoughts before we get started with our special guest today? Dr. Joy or Dr. Pauline?
No, just looking forward to meeting him.
Okay, I'm going to put him on, and I can actually, this is very interesting, a new thing that they rolled out here, available to broadcasters. So check this out. But I can actually put him in like this. Hey, all right, guys. As was mentioned, we do have a special guest today. Simon is with us, and of course, Patty is with us. And Patty recommended that we bring Simon in for the Othello exhibit for 2022, and he's got some amazing. So this is pretty cool because we were able to record this at 8 o'clock this morning because Simon was not going to be available due to his show commitments today at 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. But this is a new technology feature that they're offering with a pre-recorded. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
and ironically, like Pauline was mentioning, the time zone made a big difference as well. So thank you, Marty, for being so accommodating.
Oh my gosh!
Really wanted to join.
Yeah, you know what? He was up. If we were recording this at 8 o'clock, he was up talking about Othello at 5 a.m. Yeah, because he's in Seattle. Holy heck! And other nice thing I just want to say is, check this out. I can go like this. So that's kind of like full screen, but while he's playing, if anybody wants me to pause or have a comment to say something, I can actually do that. So I just want to, since this is new, StreamYard continues to roll out advanced features, and their objective, they have told me, is we don't want people coming on and saying, oh, that was obviously made by StreamYard. We're getting tired of hearing that. We want to give people broadcast ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, utilities to really go, live. So this is kind of nice that they're able to do this for us. Stuff going on. So I know a lot of people are wondering what is it all about and everything. But we promised we were going to share with Simon what for Othello next year is all about. So Patty, do you want to have a whack at it and try to explain it, or I can always follow up with the cleanup.
When I was appalled when I heard, like, I'm embarrassed to even say the title. I got to be honest. It feels wrong, and then when you
I saw you laughing there, Patty. I just want to say something. It is so interesting when you watch what people are saying, how much more you can learn. I was watching that show the other day, the ladies show that we just put up yesterday, and Dr. Pauline was commenting, and I was like, I didn't even hear her say that during the show because I'm so busy with controls and doing all this. But just watching that 2 weeks later of all those ladies on, it was like I was writing stuff down, in fact, notes to myself.
Shared the actual history of where that statement came from, I was even more upset. And it really made me dive even deeper into everything that's going on in the current world, right? Black Lives Matter. And the idea that a statement like that could be taken so literally, and then just actions to follow are ridiculous, and we're trying to unveil all that craziness. So me, I'm a little emotional because when it's wrong, there is no exceptions. So but Marty,
I know I feel the same way.
Please. You'd say it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. When it's wrong, and that's it. And I've had black people tell me, Marty, you're not even white. You're a rainbow. And I belong to the NAACP down here, and our little tiny Rosa Parks lookalike president, she told me one day, she said, Martin, this is what white looks like. And she pointed to a thing that was black. It was like a black valise. And she said, that's black. You see that black leather valise? So we're all colored. I was like, oh my God. She is so amazing. She's a doctor and a minister. So Simon, yeah, to follow on to what Patty was saying, I was pretty shocked myself when all this came out in the Wall Street Journal, and how the president of the United States was listened to by several servants, and the very famous Fanny Kemble of England, who was visiting. She was a superstar on stage in London, and she said this guy was disgusting and raunchy. He was the hero of Amistad, the very famous movie, where he defended the blacks and had them, not put in prison and stuff. And so it was pretty amazing to hear how his mother, the First Lady of the United States, was physically revulsed and sickened when she saw the black man touch the white woman with his bare hands on stage while watching Othello in London. And the son writes things for the newspapers and has a whole bunch of smack talk during dinners. John Quincy Adams, the president of the United States, the son of the former John Adams, about how wrong this is and how much he is against what they called in those days was miscegenation. But this is being against any kind of skin color being married. So like a Mexican woman decides she wants to marry an Asian man. Or you take like an Indian lady who decides she's going to get married to an Irish guy and live in Ireland. So this particular president is against this. And it was pretty shocking to the point where we wanted to have an exhibit about this. And so we've been working on it. Yeah. And so you're up to date, Simon. Have you ever heard about any of this?
I have. And I also, my attention was drawn to it further recently when Patricia shared with me, the exhibit that you'll be putting up. And I'm just learning. So I wanted to hear more from both of you so that I could even, learn more. But for me, it's always about our individual actions, What are we doing so that
now? I thought that was a Captain
we can
America
make the world a better place with the simplest things that, we each have an opportunity to do in life, to contribute.
I thought that was a Captain America shield back there, Patty. But that is something part of his instrument that he is going to play in a little bit here.
To making this world safer, more equal, giving access to, to opportunities to people that are doing great work, and, supporting communities that need it the most. So I think history is important. Then we have the current situation, and then we have the future. So I feel that what you are doing is allowing us to reflect and then think about what actions are we going to take today that will impact tomorrow. So I'm completely in alignment with its spirit.
Yeah, I really like that, Patty. What actions are we going to take today to lead us into tomorrow?
That was so beautifully said, Simon. I didn't see that coming. That was beautifully said. And Simon, the history behind this, I know Shakespeare. I've heard of Othello, but, I never really dived deep into the story because it was kind of like a high school thing. And then, I got self-absorbed into all my current books that are out there. But this story really is amazing because it's about the love, the innocent, beautiful love of a prince. Was it a prince? I believe.
Yes, the equivalent of that. Yeah.
I don't know if you have memory of that play from Shakespeare. I'm not sure if you. I didn't remember it, and I also, after one of these segments, when I became aware of the exhibit and all that, I wanted to learn more, and I was like, wow, a beautiful love story turned wrong because of somebody's terrible opinion. And I don't want, now I feel like I'm judging that person. But I feel bad for people that are so closed minded. I don't want to judge them. I just want to pray on them that they could understand that love is a beautiful thing. So what we look like should totally be indifferent. It should not matter. Love is universal, and love is it has no love is the ether. Love is ether. Okay, I'm gonna calm down now. It's too late.
No, it's just interesting to have these discussions, and it's been amazing to see like Howard University pick this issue up, and universities like King's College are picking it up, in the Shakespeare Theatre in London. Because at first, when we first started doing this, we were considered a bunch of whack jobs. We even had comments, another outlandish, outrageous, inappropriate exhibit that makes no sense whatsoever for the Presidential Center. It's dumb and stupid, and you got to stop coming up with these crazed things and, focus on like easy, low-hanging fruit stuff. And I was like, no, you'll see, just wait. And when it was in the Wall Street Journal, it was pretty amazing, the Columbia professor and what he published. And I did put up, what Dr. Joy Nicole Martinez has been saying here to love absolutely. So, well, Simon, will you please tell us about your groove thing and the good vibes for Africa? We're still quoting you, Joy.
Yes, thank you very much. OneVibeAFrica is it's like a movement, but it's a non-profit organization both in Kenya and Seattle. But there's also a for-profit side of it known as OneVibe Media that I'm mostly focusing on. But I'll start with OneVibeAFrica because that's where it all started. In 2008, in January, in December 2007, there was elections in Kenya, and they were sharply disputed, and the different political sides went to war with each other because the results were not accepted. So people were divided along ethnic lines, and over 1,500 people were killed. And around that time, I was a DJ. So together with a group of other DJs, we were finding ways to bring peace and to find alternatives to the violence, especially because we knew that the youths that were listening to the music that we played were some of the perpetrators of the violence. So we organized a peace concert that brought, youths together. And after that, we raised a lot of money, and we used that money to buy food. At that time, people were starving because there had been no business going on for months because of the fighting, and basically the country was at a standstill because the election results were disputed. So since then, I realized that music was bigger than just enjoyment. Music was, a weapon for revolutions, a weapon for transformation, an economic empowerment tool. And since then, I've been, producing events in Seattle, where I live, and also in Kenya, where I started doing this work. And the proceeds from the events have been sustaining the operation of an education, music, and art program that we run in Kenya, where we offer, we have a rehearsal space where young people go and practice music. They interact with artists from various countries, from across the world, from Seattle to Europe to Middle East. A lot of artists visit our space. We have dance program, graphic design, filmmaking, photography, and all of this happened because of the events I organize, both online. For example, I organize a daily event on Clubhouse known as the Daily African Proverbs. And, all the communities I built through this movement goes back to.
I think he does a pretty awesome job with that, doesn't he, Patty, on Clubhouse for Apple?
I mean, he's so consistent. It's amazing. Well, I refer to like the House Creativity is the Apple, but he's affiliated with them. But he has his own thing with the Africa. Africa World, One Africa Vibe. He has a few clubs. It's crazy work he does, but he's very, very consistent on the daily African proverbs.
Yep, and so we're just talking about on Clubhouse, which is an app available on Android or Apple. Yeah, so Clubhouse is pretty prolific. Dr. Joy Nicole or Dr. Pauline, or either of you on Clubhouse ever?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Most recently, I've just really started using it, so it's still rather new to me. But I will say there's something very interesting. It feels like being on a very interactive conference call.
Yeah, right? It's kind of like the old time radio, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. I'm really enjoying listening in, and then being able to go up on stage, as they say, right, and just having this great interaction. Last time I was on Clubhouse, I heard this woman, much like our guest, she was singing on Clubhouse.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And I could actually hear. It was wonderful. She played her guitar and she sang. And what an interesting platform, right?
Yeah, well, it's like the radio. I go on there and sometimes there's no one talking. They're just playing rain and chimes and music and cymbals and it's like an hour of just that.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I have to find those rooms.
Oh yes, I'm going to send if I come across that one more time, I'm going to send it to you.
Helping to grow the work that I do.
Oh, sorry, it sounded like an echo. I'm not sure if anybody else is hearing that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm the producer of the echo, because now it kind of went away. We had fuzziness earlier, then we have echo, and now everything's great.
Okay. It's all vibrations.
Okay.
In Kenya, that has been supporting over 2,000 youths since 2008. All of this work started because I was raised by a mother that was very, very powerful, and she's a woman that inspired me to continue doing this work even after she passed on last year. And she inspired a lot of other kids that grew up in an orphanage home. Our home was turned into an orphanage home, from 1997 to 2013. Our hometown, Kisumu, is the third largest city in Kenya, but it's right by Lake Victoria. And Lake Victoria is the largest lake in Africa.
Let's take a look at that, because some people tend to get lost about, they don't know, even where Kenya is up on the top right of the 55 countries. I have a lot of people mention to me, they don't even know how many countries that there's 55 in Africa. So I always say seeing is believing. And let's go in there. Let's take a look at, first of all, where you're talking about, so people can kind of sort of see. And what I'll do is I'm going to bring up a map here, guys, to show people up on the top right corner. I'll just say almost the northeast corner of Africa. And we're down here coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. And maybe I can shrink that over like that, guys.
Our team won on Monday, right, Dr. Joy Nicole?
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
We beat the Jets.
And Patty is up in New York right now. And Simon, you're over in Seattle.
That's correct.
Okay. I love this. Hey,
All right.
Marty, by the way, while you're looking for that, when it was Africa Day, which also Simon started the 24-hour Africa Day, first one on Clubhouse. It was amazing. The things that we learned on there. And that day made me so interested that I didn't realize Africa was, I mean, I know it's an entire continent, but I didn't realize like how each country has its own specialty, and we learned so much about the teas and oh my god, just so many things. I mean, we could have a whole nother 24 hours discussion on it, but it made me dive into what you're doing now, Marty, and I loved it, and all the rivers and the beautiful.
Yeah. So this is where Simon is from, Kenya.
Yeah, and as you can see, Lake Victoria is huge. You know, it's the largest lake in Africa, and I live right next to it. I grew up right next to it. You know,
Yeah.
so, but my hometown Kisumu, also in the 90s, it had the highest HIV prevalence in the world. So a lot of people were dying. We had families that were headed by like 12-year-olds. You know. So that's why my mom and the women from our community started Young Generation Center, the orphanage home where we still operate from until today, you know, but it's no longer an orphanage home, it's a creative hub. You know, we have arts programs and also tech and you know, a lot of it's a place where arts and technology and music collide, you know, and community and activism and journalism, you know. So it's a really rich place. I'm going to be there before the end of this month.
Right. So
Marty, he also did the documentary. How can we see the documentary again, Simon? The documentary is so beautiful, and he highlights all this that he just discussed.
The documentary is called Madaraka, the documentary. If you want to Google Madaraka, thedocumentary.com, that's the website for the documentary. The best way, we are doing only private screenings now. You know, we are taking a small fee and we organize an event with specific groups that want to watch the documentary. Then we have a program. We create a program together with the group that wants to host the film screening, and you know, some of the topics that we've hosted for include you know, International Women's Day. We've also done conversations around culture and economic empowerment and collaboration. So currently we are in the process of doing the screenings and also doing the film festival circuit.
that's fantastic. And this is the filmmaking entrepreneurship section on OneVibe. If anybody goes to OneVibeAFrica.org. We also wanted to send you some love, Simon, and let you know over at the Presidential Center, if you come into the Presidential Center on the trustees and board section, you'll notice down towards the bottom past our 29 members, down here you'll see some of our ambassadors, and we just had actually put in a couple months back was our ambassador in training. She's an attorney there in Kenya, Miss Mary Nyatiti. So Mary is busy at the courthouse every day. And then I'll speed forward here to another ambassador. He's brand new, just announced last week, Mr. Nixon Akesa. So he's an ambassador for Kenya. So I wanted to highlight those two people, if that's any kind of connection for you in Kenya. And if we were to take a look at LinkedIn.
Yeah, those would definitely be amazing connections.
Yeah, Nixon is right here for everybody watching this. Nixon is right here, Nixon Akesa. It's a wonderful, wonderful guy in Nairobi. And then Mary, like I said, Mary Nyatiti. She is also right here. And I'd like to bring up her profile. So please connect. Get you a little bit better photo of Mary there. They're both in Kenya, and it's been amazing to see, the things Mary's doing with Catch Global Foundation, and then you're on because we talk on LinkedIn also, Simon. So
I am on LinkedIn.
And how did you spell your last name?
Okelo.
Okay. There you are, right there. So I'm going to send you a connection request today because it looks like we're a second level connection. Is that the right profile? Yeah, that's you right there. All right, so I'm going to send you a connection request so we can connect up, and everybody please connect with Simon at OneVibeAFrica. This is his profile here. Simon Okelo, Okelo, if you're looking for him. And let's follow him as well. And he has a great tagline here, the African proverb, it's time to change the narrative about Africa. Africa is scheduled to be the largest by population by 2050. It's going to exceed India, and India is getting ready to surpass China as the most populous, continent in the world. And I'd like to go back to OneVibeAFrica, Simon. Is there anything else here on this particular site that we could navigate to for you?
Now, I would suggest that we go to simonjavanokelo.com. That's the site where I'm putting a lot of work into, and just tomorrow we'll be relaunching it. And I'm currently looking for people to subscribe through simonjavanokelo.com. You can subscribe to the Daily African Proverbs so that as we share new proverbs, you become a member, you pay a little fee, and every day you get new proverbs before it's published. And then, we'll give people special privileges as well.
That looks really nice. I noticed, is that the instrument on the wall behind you in the background?
That's right.
Can you tell us about this? How beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, that instrument is called Nyatiti, and it's a traditional music instrument from my culture. I'm from the Luo tribe. This instrument is special to me because it's the only traditional music instrument from the Luo that has reached the global stage. We have other music instruments from our tribe, and many other African ethnic groups and tribes have their own instruments. Mm-hmm. But, in the last 50 years, Africans are no longer embracing and preserving their music and their culture. And being so far away from home, I just fell in love with Nyatiti. And I have 3 daughters who are very, very curious. So I have to engage in my own culture in order for me to teach them about my culture,
Sure.
So that's why I'm pursuing traditional African music, Nyatiti. So
I was saying the amazing meter went up to like a 9 or a 10. He's going to play this thing. Watch this.
Wait, Marty,
so that I can
did you hear him say,
what was that?
Did you hear him say that in the 13 years since he started, he made this statement. He said they started in 2008. We're in 21. So in 13 years, he's on average served over 154 young people.
Yep.
That is amazing. Just when you think about scope, the scope of work he's doing. So I say that because often we talk about, I don't want to give or I don't want to support. How do I know this is legitimate? I mean, he's telling you like every year we're literally changing the lives of these young people whose families have been disrupted and destroyed by an epidemic.
Absolutely.
Just phenomenal work.
Absolutely. Unbelievable guy.
Continue bringing it to the global stage, similar to the guitar, so that people can know Nyatiti just like they know the guitar, so that we can normalize playing the Nyatiti in every family, in every household. We can bring Nyatiti to the world.
Well, it sounds wonderful. Here in Shelby, North Carolina, we have, of course, the famous 3-finger picking method was invented by Earl Scruggs, and that's for the banjo. But I'll actually bring up that so you can see it, because when you go into the Earl Scruggs Museum here, where he was born and raised, you'll see actually the original gourd with the original banjo, and it's credited as soon as you walk in that this is originally an African instrument with the strings. And so it's amazing to see Africa here in the middle of the deep South being celebrated.
Right.
And this guy's most famous song that he ever did, I think everybody out there has heard of and knows. It was for the theme song for the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh.
So, yeah, everybody knows that song, but he actually authored, hundreds and hundreds of songs. And he invented the 3-finger picking method, which was just something that was unheard of. Everybody played that instrument the way that they did, for the longest time. And no one really understood what Earl was talking about until they actually tried it and said, hey, try this new method with your fingers. And so pretty interesting to see the real truth about where the banjo comes from out of Africa. And when you walk into the museum here, that's the first thing you see is the original. It's a gourd, with strings on like a stick. And so that's where that, came from. And I always am like so impressed when I go in there to see it. So
that's amazing.
It's kind of interesting to see. And yeah, that's the exhibit case right there that showcases where the journey begins and how people start playing the banjo and how it becomes popular here in the United States. So I'll just want to turn that off and go back to Simon's new website that he's really putting a lot of.
That's why I say you never know where these conversations.
And he said it's right here, Simon Okelo.
I had no idea I would be showing him that.
Yes, I'm going to. We're having a lot in the works. I'm also adding a collective. I've been building a collective of filmmakers, graphic designers, photographers, people from across the world. Oh, that's the video. I'll let you play.
Yeah. It's so nice. And what is that also a gourd or some kind of plant, or is that made out of wood, Simon?
It's the root of a tree.
Ah, see that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see? This is what I'm talking about. This is so close.
Yeah, it has eight strings. It's a beautiful instrument.
Dude, you have the coolest outfit, bro.
Next time I'll wear it for this show.
Yeah, you're like better than Ziggy Marley, or I tell you, look. And the bells are actually down on your ankle. You're playing those bells on your ankle.
They're here too. You see them. I walk with them everywhere.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta. Let me. Let me stop sharing for a second. I got to come back to that because I missed it.
You want to see the bells?
There you go. Yeah. Well, look, I brought Simon. I had to go get from Africa this little frog that I play.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
that's
I love
that.
Have you seen this from Africa?
Yes.
Can you tell me more about this?
You know,
Patty, you brought that up that you had seen that hand carved. I got that in, I think, Magic Kingdom in the Africa section. There was a guy out there that had wood shavings all around his legs. Is that because you said something about Disney?
Yes, in Africa. So that's one of the things I love about Disney is that they try to be as authentic as possible, right? So each country you go to, not only is somebody from the country there, they're doing what their native country is known for. And this particular little section, they were doing the wood carving, and he was just so carving, he made it look like he was carving butter, and you see the results. Look at I'm not saying it's the same region, but I'm just saying you see the quality of what you had just shared. Simon's instrument. It's just so beautiful with the hands, no machines, hands did that. It's just beautiful.
Absolutely. That's where I got that. I got that in the Magic Kingdom in the Africa section. It was just amazing. And I love how they do that. They only hire people authentically from the continent or that country. You go into England, in Epcot. Yeah, I love to ask those people, like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Surrey. Well, thank you for asking, sir. They're really from those places. So just amazing to see.
That must be played by a tribe that they believe that the frog is sacred. Recently I've just been researching on tribes across Africa actually that believe that the crocodile is sacred, and so they make a lot of art out of the specific animal that they believe is sacred. For example, the tribe I come from believes that the hippo is sacred because a lot of artists make a lot of artwork with the hippo.
Wow. And this was another one. It's the bottom of a gourd.
I have a similar one.
I didn't say it was good. I love sound.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to get into it because we will all get lost here. We should do a whole show, and just we will bring out everything.
It just brought to mind also something from Disney World. And I'm sorry, but it just brought to mind all the beautiful woodwork. I'm like, wait, I do have beautiful woodwork in Africa in the Epcot, but it's authentic. Someone that is from Africa carving the wood, and the woodwork is amazing. Besides what goes behind it, like you said, the tribes believed that they were sacred, but the woodwork, even your instrument, is so beautifully done. Just wanted to say it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to play it too. It has taken me like 10 years to get comfortable playing it in front of people. So it probably took other people shorter because they had the time to dedicate to learning it every day. But I'm in the US, so I was isolated. So I just learned when I was not at work. I used to work 9 to 5 until this May, when I decided to focus on running One Vibe Media full time, being a podcaster, being a full-time father, and focusing on my music and my creative endeavors. So I've created more time. So that was the first song we were listening to. It's called Chandore, and Chandore is suffering, especially for black men. Black men are always expected not to even cry when they feel sad, not to be emotional when they are they should be, and currently I'm working on releasing the second one. It's called Sulwe. Sulwe means star, So this is about the importance of stars in guiding people and how each one of us has a star that guides us. But it takes work to recognize what your star is and ensure that you allow it to guide you. Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm grateful, and I'm sure I'll be coming back again.
Well, thank you so much. It's so soothing to listen to it. It's so magical. We're so honored and impressed with your talent, and thank you for spending that 10 years to be able to do that. And thank you for being our guest today and sharing with us a little bit more about Africa and things we didn't know about its beauty. And keep on playing, man.
Yes.
Awesome.
Take care, Simon. Well, Patty, we're going to go back to our program because we're recording this in the morning for when people are watching live later today. And any final impressions about, Simon and his music? I mean, the outfit, the music, the instrument, just unbelievable when you think about more beautiful things coming out of Africa.
Well, I do want, I'm always like eager to share. And he was also in the process of collecting instruments that people might be wanting to donate to send over. He's trying to figure out a way, because that's complicated, because it's like large items, but I know he has a storage place in I don't want to say the wrong place. I thought Denmark, but I might be off. But anyway, the point is, that is in the process of coming to send over music. Like he said, that's the program that they're running with music and arts. So if anybody has any music, I told him I would help. So I'm also happy to receive any instruments. I'm actually going to be talking to the schools in the local areas to see if they're interested in joining in this venture. So yeah, great things are happening.
Amazing. Wow. Can you imagine the schools hearing that music? Or even, I know you can't go to every school in New York, but even if that film was played and showcased to further spread, like he said, things from Africa and that beautiful music, it makes me wonder if anything ever occurred with some music in the court of England, when the original Othello actually was visiting as an ambassador of the king of Barbary, which is, of course, today modern day Morocco. But that's not that far away from Kenya to Morocco. That's really like, Northern Africa. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing to see that I have this gourd here today with an instrument. And here in Shelby, where I live, they credit, as soon as you walk into the Banjo Museum, the Earl Scruggs Museum, which, is more like bluegrass. Down the street, we have the Don Gibson Museum. He's very famous for more country music, hundreds of songs for country music. But as soon as you walk into the Earl Scruggs Museum, you see the original banjo from Africa there. And so that is like super cool. But it does make me wonder if they ever had any kind of music performance played in the court. Because Queen Elizabeth, of course, has the original Othello stay there for half a year. And they said they did have a big parade, when he first came in. So to celebrate, and a lot of people had never before seen a black person. So this should be pretty interesting. And we may want to try to figure out some way to incorporate his music into what we're doing. I don't know.
I know. Again, like the music, it's very interesting how each country has their specialty too, so I would love to learn a little bit more about that. But that great highlights. And you had asked me, for me, this interview with Simon, he's one vibe, and it reminds me of One Love. And
that's right.
That's my
One vibe.
Yeah.
One
And the colors he was wearing. Yeah.
What a great guy. Well, thank you for bringing him to us. And I will catch you later during today's show.
Awesome. Okay. Bye, Marty.
Back at you. Okay, guys, and we're back. That was our special guest, Simon. Sorry he had to be recorded early this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time.
It was fantastic.
And thank you for the additional musical interlude, Marty.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah. The semi off key.
No, may I highlight the Madaraka festival that just passed? That's live music for like hours and hours. You could go live to the festival in Seattle, but because of live streaming now, you could join and hear the beautiful festival in the background, and it's amazing, amazing.
Oh, music is one of the most important things for bridging cultures, and I think that's the thing. I was very fortunate. I went to Kenya in 2006. I walked up Mount Kenya, and I had a most fantastic experience when 50 Kenyan men sung a cappella. They just started singing. Wow. And it was the most amazing experience of my life. And what was awesome was that there were about 15 of us, mostly British, and all the Kenyans turned around and said, okay, you sing now. And we didn't know, we couldn't sing. It was just so embarrassing. But the sound, the music was absolutely stunning. It was a vibrational energy that I would never forget. And if we can spread this music around the world, embracing everybody's music, that's the vibration that we need to raise the world's harmony.
Well, there is no better vibration on earth than music. They've said psychologically, psychosocially, it brings humans together in concerts. And I love watching those Beatles in the 60s when they come over here, and those young girls that spasm and begin to writhe and lose their mind.
That was my teenagehood, and I was totally madly in love with Paul McCartney. I thought he was the best thing in the world. But the
cry.
Music. I mean, there's a Beatles song, any song that starts, I know the words. How do I know the words? It's in my body.
Yeah. So I got two great quotes today for use in the exhibit and online. This was one of them from Dr. Joy Nicole. And this was another one. And I have a surprise because I promised we were going to move forward physically. So for physical items for the exhibit, we identified a heart. And I think we have a little heart guy I'll be showing next month that's going to be in there to exude the many things that we have been quoting, you know, about love, love, love from Dr. Joy Nicole. And so that was going back 2-3 months back, some of her comments about love. Absolutely. We identified we should have that, a heart. Somehow we have the quotes.
Well, Marty, you have to put the Beatles in there then, because all you need is love. That's the Beatles song. All you need is love. Love.
That's it. And I have also Raina built this because Othello is set in you know where?
Venice.
So she built this little gondola.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And guess what?
Amazing.
Let me get that in there, that little. So the whole play is set in Venice. And we never know, you know, like even when we were doing the Rosa Parks exhibit and the Obama exhibit, we never know, like, how are we going to materially, physically represent and translate the messages, the imagery, so people can, we don't know what we're doing. We don't claim to be Smithsonian experts, but I'll tell you what, for the 6th straight year, we have a 9.8 out of 10 from booking.com. And people just love what we do. And we've watched 30,000 of them come to the museum. So just was getting a request, in fact, for a booking for a tour for the museum. And I'm going to be headed up to Washington, D.C. as the keynote speaker. We're all going to fly out Saturday. I'll be there with United Fresh at the Grand Hyatt Hotel. And then I'll be giving my speech Tuesday night on the top of Charlie Palmer Steak, which is a very famous steakhouse chain in the United States, to all the farmers across America and all the CEOs in fresh fruit and produce. So I'll be back and catch up some more on these things. But this has been a very interesting show today. And I have a feeling, Patty, you should maybe be asking Simon if we shouldn't collaborate or something, with his movie making skills and my movie making skills, as I'm only an up and coming producer. But music, if we could get some of his music up, as part of this, or make a film out of this, we thought maybe we could reach more people with this exhibit if we had a film. It seems like we're reaching a lot of people.
Well, what he was sharing about the documentary, I didn't realize that part because, I saw the documentary on a watch party with the House of Creativity. That's how I met Simon. So that's why, how the Clubhouse is a very interesting thing. It's really reaching on a global I know everything's global on social, but it's just so raw and real, and of course you need to do your vetting and make sure that that who you're talking to is really who you're talking to. But when you did your due diligence and you realize, okay, they're the real person, beautiful things happen. And learning about the Madaraka, I didn't realize the documentary. That's why I was like, how come I can't find it? And again, we're all so busy, but I'm glad he clarified that. So I definitely see that being a beautiful fit for this exhibition, and I feel like somehow, some way, it's going to fit in there just right. Yep.
Thank you so much. Any parting comments, Dr. Pauline or Dr. Joy Nicole?
I just think we need to keep on spreading the love and spreading magical conversations like these, and we will encompass the whole globe. We can create our future together. That's my passion. And it's been a wonderful insight into Simon's work, but also that feeling of Africa again. I love it. It's wonderful.
It really is. Dr. Joy?
I would just echo, I think his work is incredible. He's so talented, and you can feel his welcome when he talks and when he plays. And I'm looking forward to engaging with him more, but also really kind of deciding and feeling out how we incorporate the sounds that he's creating, because Marty, you love sound, but how we incorporate that into this whole storyline. So it was a wonderful time just learning and listening, and I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of the week and a wonderful rest of this month, and see you next month.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Be good. Thank you for joining us on the Presents Streaming Network.